on TikTok, I get the latest study guide behind me, and you can see it all along. So don't think I'm not paying attention to y'all. I love y'all to death. I've got to read off of the screen, and there's all kinds of cool pictures and stuff up here. There's my thing. Hey, Gigi, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see all the people in the room. GT Arkansas joined in. Nicole, thank you so much for joining in. It's 10 o'clock. Y'all let me know if my audio is coming through. Arlo will he makes me take my headphones off. And if y'all haven't on TikTok, y'all go download the study guide. It's Isaiah chapter 1. It's what you know what, them people knew what they should have been looking out for. They knew the prophet Isaiah. And in Isaiah chapter 1, it literally is a warning to Jerusalem. And it tells them all about, hey, y'all should be looking out for this stuff. So, you know what? I'm not looking for the big crowds. Y'all all know I had 750,000 people. And TikTok took them away from me, banned me, didn't even give me a appeal or any response to any of my emails, shut me off completely. However, all of the clones and people like that, they took my work, which has evidently been opened up to them, and they play my videos all over the place. So if you see my face and it's on there, know that some of them are clones and that they play my work. And you can tell because they don't answer any questions. They never answer any questions. They let people talk smack about God, and they let people talk smack on the internet about Jesus and what have you. So just know that it's on my pages, that wouldn't happen at all. I would bust you up if you do that. Isaiah chapter 1, go to the bio page and the link tree. Yeah, those are actually pictures. It's right here. And this is what you're going to download. These are actually pictures out of that Bible. And that's the page. And this is all the content so that you know whenever that one of those Bibles, this are all the books that are in that Bible. And it's really cool. This is the study guide. I think it's like hard to see there. I'll put it up on the screen behind me. But this is actually a picture of the book of Isaiah. So if you want to, just click on that and you can follow along. We're going to read the book of Isaiah right here, chapter 1. And I like doing this because it allows me to record this in a long form content. And then whenever I play it back, I can play back the long form content, but I can also edit it together and use my audio. And in some of the instances, I want to use my audio for this chapter 1, and we're going to be doing chapters 1 through 7 because Isaiah is a warning to the people. And I'm going to be reading, right? I'm going to tell you what I'm reading now. If y'all go to my bio page right here, download the study guide, it's going to be right here. Go to my bio page and then click on my link tree right there, and then this is the study guide that's right there. Boom, it's right there. The warning. It's the warning to Jerusalem and to Judea and Jerusalem, the Hebrew people, all of those people that were living in Jerusalem. So, hey, this is what's getting ready to happen, man. And I'm going to be reading right out of one of those things right there, that thing right there. I'm going to be reading out of. So what I did was just some of my other links. And all of those things have Linktree on them, or my links, so you can download the link right there and download the study guide. That's what's going to pop up on my Linktree right there. And we're reading, you can see those handmade things right there. That's what we're reading out of. This is the cover page of the study guide. And you can see this is what we're going to read straight out of it. I'd rather do that. People ask me all the time what books are in that. Bible. It's from 1582. It's the Apocrypha Bible. Here's all the books. Here's that. And through that, and that's the New Testament. And then there's the rest of them right there. So y'all will enjoy reading what books are in there. Again, that's all in the study guide. Go to the bio page, clicking the link tree or the links right there on the bio page. And then it pops right up. Why'd that go dark? That screen looked dark. But there it is right there. And there's the study guide. And I think these things are cool, man, because whenever you print it, see it how it's on the sort of, you can see it out of the parchment. You can almost see the page beveled and all this stuff. I'm reading straight out of a book. Just like that. I'd just rather you turn this camera off for 1 second. I'll show you. I am reading out of this. and it's perfect. It has all of the pictures and the maps and everything that little Bible has in it. It's just 24-pound parchment paper, and it's one of the Bibles that I make. And I like it. I was going to try to split it up and make it smaller, but it's just doesn't work. The New Testament is about that much of it. The New Testament is... Yeah. Yeah, the New Testament's about that much of it. It's not the Old Testament and the Apocrypha. That's where it's at. And those dudes should have known it, man. The dudes that were in Jerusalem at the time. Isaiah, if you're into religion, I don't care what religion you are. If you're into religion, are you planning on making any other books mentioned in the Bible? I do. I'm not only planning to make them, I have the Codex, which is this book right here, and this is all the other books that are in the Bible. The Codex, we sold a bunch of these. Can't say things like that. This is, I'll read it to you. Got a little thumb thing. Gotta love this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Tells you every book in it. And it is the book of Jubilees, the book of Enoch, the book of Jasher, the book of Gad, and the Gospel of Nicodemus. Now, these are all books that are in size 12 font. There's Jubilees. It's size 12 font. And you can put this together. This one right here, the reason that I put the book of Jubilees first, it was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It is the number 5 most popular book in the Dead Sea Scrolls right there next to Isaiah. And it tells you real quick right here in this very first paragraph. It says, "Come up to me on the mountain, and I will give you 2 tables of stone of the Torah and of the commandment, which I have written, that you may teach them." Yeah, there you go, right there on the first page, in the very first chapter, in the very first book. So, yeah, I did reprint all of those. These are all my works that I've integrated the pictures into that help tell the story. And almost, just page after page of just pictures that help tell this. And it's in a size 12 font where you can write underneath it, double space and all that stuff, because that's just... If I'm going to make something and print it, I'm going to make it so you can write in it, take notes, write in the margin, write on it, and all that stuff. And I actually like the way this thinner paper, I like the way it folds and goes through. That 24-pound parchment paper is just pretty tough. I mean, it's going to last generations and generations. This is going to last for a long, long time, too. I think, 100 years is going to be something that any piece of paper, you got to start being very delicate with it. But, yeah, I did print them, and they're called the Codex, and they're literally right there. Thank you so much for the gift, G. Let me show you. I'll show you where the Codex is. Because that's cool, man. I mean, reading the book of Isaiah is awesome. We're going to be reading out of one of those right there. That's the backs for them. Oh, and you know what? My books, you see those little marks like that right there? I make every one of them different. Every one of them's a different color, different leather, different every piece of it. Those little marks, I made that mark. I cut it in there so that I would know where to fold it. Because when you wet that leather to wet fold it, when you do all these things to it, you lose your place. You mark it with a pen and it'll get blue crap all over the place. Did that. I know that because I did that. Where is it? Right there. When you put them in the water, that's the leather going into the water. When you sink the leather to fold one of those, you got to soak it and all that stuff. You mark it with anything else, it's just going to bleed onto the leather. Then you have a big black blue ring or whatever. And these things right here, those little marks are what happens whenever they come out. And they're folded and then pressed and they have to dry into that shape and all that stuff. Those little marks. And we typically cut them off. Like I said, they're not... I can't have anybody come here. We can't have them. We don't have them on these Bibles. You can see, but it's not a perfect thing. Hey, Jay Berg, man, I got your book right here. I just showed it to somebody. Decline. Jay Berg. Was this it? No, it's over here. I got it on the table. The spinning table of love. That's how you paint a Bible, and you paint it around a circle. Put on a cake plate. You do. Jaybird. I gave you the prototype, man. It's this one. Yeah, I wrote your name in right there. Jaybird to Jaybird. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. This was literally the first codex that I put together, and you build and you live and you learn. Gigi, Arkansas. I got your book here. Is this Gigi, Arkansas? This is the first thing of Jasher ever. This is Gigi, Arkansas right here. I gave Gigi, Arkansas. I gave you the prototype of Jasher. And that was as a lamb covered book, and that was one of the very first books that I made. That's super cool, man. That book's cool. Gigi, you know that's got you. And Mr. Morris, this was one of the first prototypes that I made with a bison leather, and I gave this to Mr. Morris. This one's a little hard to open. Because, yeah, to Mr. Morris. But this is cool. I love this one. Like it's made with that bison skin and all that stuff. Just a pain in the butt. It took me forever to fold all this leather and all that. So it was just a pain in the butt. I do. Hey, are y'all doing Sabbath? I did it. I did Sabbath. Go get you some bread. Bread. I'll show you. I got bread with a cross on it. You got bread with a cross on it. What? I walked in, I was like going, looking at the different bread. I went, ooh, that one's got a cross on it. I do, I'll show you. Ooh, it must have swole up in the bag. Pinned comment. Where do you get the book? Hot diggity now! You set the bread down and you touch these buttons. I show you. I want to do this. Touch this. You will go to my bio page and then click on my link tree right there. That link tree takes you to all my links. And if y'all are on, go to my bio page and then right there, it's a bunch of links underneath it. But then you'll go to TikTok right there. There's the bio page. There's the link tree. Handmade Bibles come in right there. And then that's the lesson for today. And then this is all my like podcast and long form content and all on that big button right there. So that's exactly where you got that link goes straight there. But that is the codex and a Bible. Just know a codex is a group of documents put together. After they had scrolls, they put the scrolls together, and as soon as they put things together, different books together, that's called a codex. So that's why I call that the codex. It is Jubilees and Enoch 1 and Jasher and Gad. Is it not written in the book of Gad? Is it not written? Dude, the book of Joshua, man, it talks about the sun standing still. And who made the sun stand still? Joshua. Who's Joshua? Joshua's same name as Jesus. Shut up. Shut up. So, who made the sun stand still? Joshua, Jesus. You can't say that together. You can. Joshua means Jesus. Oh. Jesus, leading the people out of captivity, made the sun stand still. His name is Joshua. Whatever. Oh, here. Coffee cup has wine. I just didn't want. I didn't think it looked good. I don't want them behind to go. And you know they say break bread. I break bread. I break little bread. I do it. I do it. Break the bread. We do just a little bit of a Sabbath. Boy, that wine smells so much different than my coffee. I love y'all, and I want y'all to do it right. I went to the grocery store yesterday, early. Let me show you why. Let me show you. I'll show you a thing. I did this. I'll put this up on my in my bio. This is when the sun goes down, that's the end of that day, and that's the beginning of the next day. So it's all the cycle of the sun until it goes back down again. That is the end of the day. And we just, man, we literally we celebrate the days at 12:01 midnight. And it was like no good thing happens in the dark and no light is in them and all this stuff. And I'm like going, y'all dudes are out there staring at the moon and trying to determine what day or what month it is. And I mean, it tells you right there in the book of Isaiah, I do not like your new moons and your new dates and your new Sabbaths and all that crap that you got out of Babylon. So, literally just going through this, you can see how at the end of the day, that's the end of the day, bro. When the sun sets, that's the beginning of this day. So when he created the sun on the fourth day, when it went down on the first day, it was to keep up with times and measuring all. And so this is the Sabbath right here, and it goes up and down. And that when the sun is up, that's in the middle of the day. It's midday. And then when the sun goes down, that's sundown, and that's the end of the day. And double switch the numbers and go on to the next number. Why? Because it's the next day. I mean, I can't make that make no more sense. I haven't bought the book yet, but it's next to bought Enoch and Jasher. Love this, brother. Hey, I thank you so much. I like you can see what I do. Thank you for that. These are all the covers and printed, and then these are the Jasher, not Jasher. These are the Codex covers, and they haven't been stamped yet. But you can see the double folds on them. And then, like, this is a Codex that's been stuck into the leather, and it just hasn't been folded or mounted or any of that stuff. So these are just this. People ask me, and this is a good size, man. I love this book. Jay Berg, you're gonna love this book if you're still there. Just the size that it is. It's something you can carry around. While I was on the cruise, it's handleable, and it's very durable. So just know that. The Jaybird, when I was on the cruise, people were just asking me about this thing. Like, what is that? What is that big book? And I was so proud to tell them, hey, this is all the hidden books of the Bible, and sort of like stuck into one thing. And I enjoy making them. It's a pain in the butt to make them. These are them right here. So we make them on that table and spin them around so that we can gild them. And you gild them gold. And it's regular 20-pound paper, but it's beautiful. It flips open beautifully and handles really cool. So, Mr. Greg, you're gonna love that book, Jay Berg. That's really cool. I like my study guys. I like always taking things with me. This is my quick little King James Bible. I make a lot of marks in this stuff. But when I want to like go on vacation or a cruise or something like that, I always take something that I can just sit down and mark up and tear up, and that's what this is. And I don't take that big Bible with me. It's hard to take. It's 11 pounds, and then you start putting the boxes and packing with it. It's almost 12 pounds. It is. Hang on one second. Arlo, come on. I'm sorry. hate to lose people because I just walk away from the screen, but I hope you're not standing here to see my ugly face. How did you discover them and how, oh, pin that back up. I'm sorry, I had to go get me a napkin. Pin it back up. How did I discover them? I tell you, I downloaded myself. How did you discover them and how do you know for sure they were taken out of the Bible? So the Dead Sea Scrolls were originally found after being buried for almost 2,000 years along the Dead Sea. And in Daniel 12:9, it tells you to go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed until the time of the end. And after this blinding nuclear bright light, 2,000 years later, the caves were discovered and the books of the Bible were found right there in the caves of Qumran. And the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all of that, Psalms, Isaiah, they were all there. All the scrolls were there. So everybody and their brother, how did you discover that? Everybody and their brother went there to go try to find out some kind of secrets where Solomon's gold was buried. It's right outside of Jerusalem. They're like, oh man, these are secret caves and there's all the secret maps and there's these maps for the Maccabees to tell you where. So anyway, they confirmed that they sent all these people over, and they confirmed that those scrolls read exactly like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. They literally word for word transcribed them and went, yeah, these are all correct. We came all the way over here, and everything that we found was in the nightstand of the hotel that we're staying in. So, dadgummit, no Solomon's treasure. Well, also among them were Enoch 1, and in the book of Jubilees. And the only difference in the book of Jubilees that is different from the main Bible is when Jacob erects a pillar and anoints the pillar of stone, when he erects the stones after he saw the ladder ascending into heaven. He erects a pillar and an angel comes down in the book of Jubilees and says, do not build this place. And ironically, the Jesus, that's what he was like going, dude, tear this place down, man. I'm the temple. And Jacob, he just didn't understand, man. He thought it was literally his children. David thought the same thing. David thought it was his children, that vision he saw when he saw the crucifixion. Because if you read Psalms 22, he saw the crucifixion straight up. My hands are pierced. They pierced my hands. They pierced my feet. They cast lots for my cloak. And it starts off with, my God, why have thou forsaken me? Literally, Jesus says this 1,000 years later on the cross. So it's not like they didn't all see the vision of what was coming and the coming of Christ. And literally it tells that right here in the book of Isaiah. But when they were pointed out, man, the scholars of the day, the preachers of the day, the priests of that day, they did not know the book, man. They didn't know the word. And so the King James Bible is a version of a translation. There's a difference between versions and translations. Translations are translated word for word. There are the Geneva, the Douay and Reims, which is one of them, and the Wycliffe. And there's some Tyndale and there's some other ones. But King James Version is a version of a translation. So just know that, they can say the dog ran down the street and somebody may have a version of that. The dog ran gallantly down the street, or I don't know, whatever. But there's different versions of way to say things, like wherefore art thou Romeo is the direct translation, and Romeo, where you at is how we would say it nowadays. That would be the version. So just know it's not a versions and translations are completely different. We don't talk like that nowadays. So for people to create a version like King James did was more like how they talked in his day. And when you get to the Amplified Bibles, those are versions that are of a translation that speak more like what we talk today. So thank you for haven't seen me in a while. Thank you for coming in. This is a lot more concentrated group, 100 people being in the room. is amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm certainly sorry that on my other format over here, if y'all will just go to my bio page and download the study guide, it's right there. And y'all too, go download the study guide. I just can't put it up behind me like I'm doing here. So let me show you what the study guide looks like for today. It's the warning to Israel. I mean, they literally had no reason to not know what was happening and what was going on. But bona fide knuckleheads, every one of them. I'll touch it. Hang on one second. It's right here. Boom. Go to my bio page right there, or go back to my bio page and you'll see the links, and click on that link tree right there. And you click on my links. And then the next thing that'll pop up, that link tree, that's what's going to pop up. And it shows this picture of where the codex is, the Bible that I make, and then that warning of Isaiah 1. The warning. It's Isaiah 1. It's really a straight up warning to Israel that says, and my other links are right underneath that. But it's a warning to Israel, and it's right out of a 1582 Douay and Rheims Bible that we made. So these pictures are just pictures of that Bible. That's my soundboard and all that stuff right here. So when I took the pictures, this is the other books that are included in that Bible. And if it's the second page of that study guide, I'm sorry, I can't see it. But this is all the books that are included. And we're reading right there out of the prophecy of Isaiah. And the prophecy prophesies, he's prophesying that he's one of the most respected prophets in all of religion. So I don't care if you're Islamic, if you're Jewish, if you're whatever you are respecting Isaiah. And if you're not, then you're just not in a religious, you don't respect God in a whole sense, I guess. Because Isaiah is definitely one of the team captains coming down through. So when I talk to the Jewish people and the Hebrew people and all this stuff, I don't want to seem anti-Semitic. I'm literally reading from the prophet Isaiah, his words for words, and they are very clear. They are concerning Judah, and Jerusalem, and that's Hezekiah. And hear ye, O heavens, and hear, O Lord, the Lord hath spoken and brought up children and exalted them, but they have despised me. Israel knows, and my people hath not understood. I'm telling you something. This is a direct warning to Jerusalem and Judah. And this is from the prophet Isaiah. I don't care what religion you are. This boy is getting ready to spit some logic, and I wanted to read it to you straight out of the page. You can see how the page is bent. That's because I'm reading out of that big Bible. It's just I get to put it up on the page right here, and it's printed on parchment paper and all, so you can just sort of see the texture in it, but I get a much better view of this right here. So I'm sorry that my Instagram crowd can't see that, but please click on the study guide and read along with me. I think that if I had to give y'all an assignment, it would be read the first 7 chapters of Isaiah. Because, I was just reading it and I was thinking along. I said, on the 7th chapter is when they're going to drop the bomb. And it sure was, man. Chapter 7 is a virgin will give birth. And you shall call his name Emmanuel. That's chapter 7, bro. You hear what those people, what they did wrong, what they should have known, what was literally written down, and when the virgin gave birth and all of that stuff, that's that boy saying that. That ain't Greg. That ain't the New Testament. I'm not trying to preach you from the New Testament because I don't want you to tell me we don't listen to that. If you're Jewish, you listen to the prophecy of Isaiah. And if you don't, you're not Jew. You're not. I'm going to take one more sip off of my Sabbath wine. And fight cow. And piece of bread. Piece of bread from my Jesus Christ bread. I got that in Publix. I know there was a saint made that one. Put it on there, a little cross. I was like, oh, no, I'm coming in here. Y'all do the Sabbath with me. The Sabbath is easy. Sabbath is easy. Listen, the Sabbath is Saturday. And it says right here in about the 15th verse of what we're getting ready to read. It says, dude, I don't like your whole moon schedule and all that crap. No, I'm not about it. And your new dates and your new Sabbaths and your new moons, not about it. So check it out, new account. It is a new account, man. They took my account away from me, banned me. They did not allow me an appeal. They did not even give me a strike. They took everything away from me. All 736,000 followers of mine didn't even answer any of my emails, but they opened all of my vault and gave 7 years worth of my work to the people. And now they are playing my work like you wouldn't believe and getting paid off of it. And all of these copycats or whatever they may be that are not me, they had tens of thousands of followers and all that stuff. Little old me, I got 1,500 followers. I could care less. They can't make the content, then they've never read their own book, and neither have we. So just know that, we just don't know when the sun is at 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. Is your Sabbath not sunset to sunset and evening to evening? And then in the very first chapters of the Bible, it says, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Shut the front door right there. The evening and the morning. So it starts at the end of the day. It's the end of the day. Man, I'm from Georgia, and it's not really hard math. At the end of the day is the end of the day, okay? And then you start the next day. So, dadgummit, the Sabbath started on Friday night at about 6 p.m. when the sun went down. That's when the Sabbath started, Saturday, right there. Friday night, there's Friday, 6 p.m., the sun goes down, right there, the Sabbath. That's when the Sabbath started, right there. As soon as the sun went down. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to. That's just the way it is written in the Bible. Chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And it says that on the second day too, man. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Oh, it's a fight. And, but that's just literally get it right, man. I mean, I'm sorry I can't allow anybody in here. Don't tell me that again for 10 minutes. I don't care where you're from. I'm just not about that because people get on here and then they decide that they're my friends and then they put a complaint in and they get my live shut down. And I'm not being anti-Semitic and I'm not being anti-Islamic and I'm not being anti-anything. I'm literally going to read to you straight out of the book of Isaiah, one of the most respected prophets in the Bible that all religions respect, Islam, Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, whoever you are. Isaiah's Pimp Billy. So just know that we're going to take a 1582 Douay-and-Rheims Apocrypha Bible, literally one that I made, and I tied all those little lines into. See that? Every one of them, every page is cut and then bound, hand bound and tied, and then we glue it and put all the fabric on it and all that stuff to bind it in. Those are all handmade. You put the cover in the water, you put the lime and the coconut and mix it all up. You do. I do. You put that in there. Whatever. Go download the study guide, which is super cool. I'll go back to the comments in 2 seconds. Go download the study guide. It is on this page. To the lesson. It's 10:30. I sure will. Go download the study guide because my wife just told me to get to the lesson. She's a great reminder. Is Isaiah your favorite prophet? I don't know, man. I like all those dudes, man. Abraham's a pimp, bro. If you read about him in the book of Jasher, you're going to like, what? He's a trip, man. Abraham is, he did a lot. Abraham is Billy Badwagon. And even all the Jewish people and all that stuff, man, they're kicking. They literally, the Hebrew people back then had to be tall. Those people had to be like, I feel like it's like unto everything Christ-like, we are made anew in him, and therefore, hold on, you type one of those long, pin that comment back up. It takes me a minute to push the little triangle next to it. And, but we are made anew in him, and the people will elect a trumpet, and at the last trump, the trumpet will sound. So shut up. It's the last trump, last time, whatever. I mean, one of the only people that is gathering the nations, it's the last trump. It's the last time he will be able to be the president of that. It's the end of it. the trumpet will sound. And we're going to read the book of Isaiah. And they're all over there trying to build out Gaza and trying to build out. I feel like it's like unto everything Christ-like. We are made anew in him, and therefore a restart. Yes, exactly. We are made anew in him. And I can tell you I was, man. I had, I'm sure a bunch of people can say, hey, we were all doing really good. And then all of a sudden I came down and found out that I was nothing more than just a regular person. And all these things didn't make me. And the only thing tangible that I could reach out and touch was the love of Jesus Christ. And the rest that I found in him, can't buy that. You can't buy the rest if you don't sleep at night. I did, man. I had $1 million. My brother, he does like $300 million a year in construction. We were so profitable and rich together. The indigestion, I took the Zantac all the time, and high blood pressure and all that stuff. And he was telling me, man, I'm suing this guy. We just settled a lawsuit here, and he's answering his phone the whole time during the conversation. We're just alike, man. I mean, to tell you, people say you look just like your brother. We're 4 years apart. And Daddy had indigestion and all of that stuff too, high blood pressure. I told him, I said, I quit taking all that crap when I found out who's running the show. And your account is restart. It is a restart. And it's a concentrated restart because I had 730,000 people. 142 people are in this room. 1,500 people are now my followers that came back. So that just lets you know that out of 750,000 people, there were a lot of flash fires. There were a lot of sparks in the pan. There were a lot of things. It tells you that right here at the end of chapter 1 in Isaiah. They're just a spark. They were just a spark. They liked one thing. Hey, man, you got pretty eyes. Or, hey, you so-and-so. I like the way you talk. And I'm going to like you. Bro, you got to listen to this, man. I want you to listen to this because when this goes down and when this happens, you better know what to do, man. This is the instruction book, and those idiots didn't know what the heck was happening. So, go to my bio page, click on that link tree right there. The next thing that's going to pop up is this stack of pictures. Pop. You click on that right there, and that's my study guide. The very first thing that's going to pop up is that right there. We're going to read Isaiah chapter 1. Dude, this is one of the most popular prophets because this prophecy is directly to Isaiah. And we're reading out of a 1582 Dewey and Rames Bible that includes the Apocrypha. This is the one we make. That's him binding one. And that's what it is. But I just want you to know, these are all the books in it. This is the books of the Apocrypha. In here, go click that and print on it. And then literally, I just took a picture of the first page of the Bible. So I'm going to read this. And I'll move out of the way. Oh, well, I'm going to read it right here. You can trip out on this. This is a warning to Israel. This is what they missed. Oh, my goodness. Don't read off that page. I've been reading the same thing. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Achaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear ye, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have brought up children and exalted them, but they have displeased me. But they have despised me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel hath not known me, and my people hath not understood. Woe to the sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a wicked seed, ungracious children. They have forsaken the Lord. They have blasphemed the Holy One of Israel. They are gone away backwards. Now flip the page with me. Touch these. They are gone away backwards. That's right there. For what shall I strike you any more, you that increase transgression? The whole head is sick, the whole heart is sad. From the sole of the foot unto the top of the head, there is no soundness therein, wounds and bruises and swelling sores. They are not bound, nor dressed up, nor fomented with oil. Your land is desolate. Your cities are burnt with fire. Your country strangers devour before your face, and it shall be desolate as when wasted by enemies. And the daughter of Zion shall be left as a covert in a vineyard and as a lodge in a garden. A lodge makes a lodge right there. Boom. And it says a lodge in a garden of cucumbers. And as a city that was laid waste, right here, and as a city that was laid waste, except the Lord of hosts has left us seed. We have been as Sodom, and we should have been like to Gomorrah. Hear the words of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. To what purpose do you offer me the multitude of your victims, saith the Lord? I am full. I desire not holocaust of rams, and fat of fatlings, and blood of calves, and lambs, and buck goats. He says, I desire not those. Be clear. All of this red heifers and all that stuff, he desires none of that. When you came to appear before me, who required these things at your hand? That you should walk in my courts. Who made you bring red heifers to me and slaughter them? Who did that? Who asked you to do that? Our offer sacrifice no more in vain. Incense is an abomination to me. And if you swinging that stuff around like it, you see him swinging it on the chain. Your incense is an abomination to me. Here it is right here for you. The new moons and the Sabbaths and other festivals I will not abide. Your assemblies are wicked. Right there. Your assemblies are wicked. My soul hateth your new moons. If you think that keeping up with the calendars by moon phases, they got that all out of the Babylon captivity right there, and they made up the calendar and it goes with their moons. It is not going by moons. It is a solar-based calendar. My soul hateth your new moons and your solemnities. They are become troublesome to me. I am weary of bearing them. And when you stretch forth your hands, I will turn away my eyes from you. And when you multiply prayer, I will not hear, for your hands are full of blood. I mean, go get this on the study guide. The study guide is literally right there on my bio page. Click on my link tree. This is going to pop up right here. It's that study guide right there. The warning to Isaiah chapter 1 right here. That's all my other work. And that's the cover. That's the cover. That's the books that are in it. And we are reading right off the page. And we're right. Yeah, right here. In your hands. And I had to just, the way this took the picture just to get to the end of the page. We're actually going to start right here. I will not hear them, for your hands are full of blood. Wash yourselves, be clean. Take away the evil of your devices from my eyes. Cease to do perversely. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge for the fatherless. And defend the widow. They don't do any of that. They're just like, oh, who's reading that? Isaiah told you to do this, bro. This literally getting to the part where it starts talking about Jesus, and they just totally missed a bus, man. Just totally missed a bus, man. Bam. 18. This is the beginning right here. I'm going to read off the paper. Greg is the best. Greg is the best. Awesome. They do the complete opposite. And this is the prophet Isaiah. So like when Jesus came up, if you keep reading the next couple of chapters, you're going to trip out and you're like going, dang, man, y'all should have read Isaiah. You're walking around holding these scrolls, acting like you know what you're doing. And your boy said the new moons and the way you got it rigged right now is an abomination to me. So it just bunch of knuckleheads, man. What's real, I can feel. That's real. I can feel it in my soul. This is the prophet Isaiah. The most complete scroll found was the Isaiah scroll. It's in Jerusalem, and it goes around this big monument. It's the Isaiah scroll, and the very first words of it say, "Woe to you, Jerusalem and Judah, because y'all are bona fide knuckleheads." And it's not anti-Semitism, man. This is boy Isaiah. That coffee is so much better than drinking wine in the morning. Oh my Lord! And then shall come and then come and accuse me, saith the Lord. If your sins be as scarlet, they shall be. You know what? I'm not going to try to read it. They shall be made white as snow, and if they be red as crimson, they shall be white as wool. If you be willing and will hearken to me, you shall eat the good things of the land. But if you will not, and will provoke me to wrath, the sword will devour you, because the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. How is the faithful city that was full of judgment become a harlot? Justice dwelt in it. But now murderers. The civil is turned to dross. The wine is mingled with water. The princes are faithless, and the companions of thieves. They love bribes. They run after rewards. I'm sorry, that's not in there. They judge not for the fatherless, and the widow's cause cometh not into them. Therefore saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will comfort myself over my adversaries, and I will be revenged of my enemies. Right there. We're reading in the book of Isaiah, and this is page 884, right out of the Bible that I'm at right now. We're going to go right here and keep reading to the top. I know it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting your friends into this and let's doing the Sabbath together. This is as many people as I ever had when I had 750,000 people. It's a more concentrated people. I'd rather have 160 people reading this literally. I'm going to read this to you. It's going to take maybe 15 or 20 minutes total to read Isaiah chapter 1. If you would just today read Isaiah 1 through chapter 7. Know that when you get to the 7th chapter, the most respected prophet in Islam, Buddhism, the Hebrew people, all of them respect the prophet Isaiah. You're going to get to chapter 7, and he's going to tell you about a virgin that's going to give birth to a son that will lead the nations. But literally chapter 7. So we're going there. This is getting to him saying, y'all should know these things. You should, when soon as Jesus walked up, they should have known what was happening in the book of Isaiah, and they just didn't. So I love y'all. Thank you, Randy, for all your gifts and staying with me. Y'all people in the room, let's drop right off and keep reading. Thy princes are faithless, companions of thieves. They all love bribes. They run after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, and the widow's cause cometh not to them. Therefore saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will comfort myself over my adversaries, and I will be revenged over my enemies, and I will turn my hand to thee, and I will clean purge away thy dross, and I will take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as they were before, and thy counselors as of old. After this, thou shalt be called the city of the just, a faithful city. The book of Jasher is the book of the just. And just know that it was big story there. Sion shall be redeemed in judgment, and they shall bring her back in judgment. He shall destroy the wicked and the sinners together into the lake of fire. And they that have forsaken the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be confounded for their idols, to which they have sacrificed, and you shall be ashamed of the gardens which you have chosen, when you shall be as an oak with the leaves falling off, and as a garden without water. There it is, the last version. And your strength shall be as the ashes of tow, and your work as a spark, and both shall burn together in that lake of fire I was telling you about, and there shall be none to quench it. Please pin that comment back up there. I'm finished reading that, and that chapter goes on to chapter 2. Literally, they just, if they would have read Isaiah chapter 1 and this prophet born in, and they can't say, well, no, Jesus was born of a virgin and all that stuff. Hey, listen, y'all, they respected King Herod, like, totally. And the fact that they were all, they know all about King Herod and the slaughter of the innocents. And they also know the story about when the wise men came over and talked to him. And they told him something that made him kill all the male babies that were within certain years of age that could have met this description, because there was a child born of a virgin. So those wise men came over and said, dude, that guy that Isaiah was talking about in like chapter 7, bro, he's out. Well, we followed a star over to here. A star. Yeah, we followed a star, and the star stopped, and they described the star as though it's a person. And his tail swiped a third of the stars. Oh, baby. Who was the wise man following? Anyway, they told Herod something really cool, and he was like going, man, I'm going to kill all these children. So they probably just told him, hey, bro, man, dude's here. Greg, shouldn't we all experience our own Pentecost if we have received the Holy Ghost? Yeah, it says right here, I don't like your Sabbaths and your days and your new moons and all of that stuff. I don't want to be the one that gives you permission to go do whatever you want to do. It's not me. I literally am just telling you that the calendar has been manipulated. The day of the Sabbath has been changed by the Roman Catholic Church. You can go into my study guides and read that. It's right underneath that. It says the Sabbath is Saturday. They changed that in 361 AD. We went over that last weekend. They literally changed the Sabbath day to Sunday, and advised in this codex, in this Canon 29. In 369, they wrote that every Christian should not Judaize and should work on Saturday and respect Sunday. So they were telling you to work. So if you think that these knuckleheads that told us all to go wear a mask and all that stuff, they've been telling us to do the wrong thing all along, and the church told everybody to go work on Saturday. What about anointing oil? My wife asked that question. It says be careful with that stuff when you mix it up the way they tell you to, and you should only use it on certain things. And when you anoint something, if you use that word in Hebrew, that's called Messiah. And when you use anoint in Greek, that's called Christ. So when Jacob, i.e. Israel, when he anointed the stones that he stacked up after he saw the stairs and the angels descending and ascending, I would love for you to do my study later with your input on multi-guest. I would love for you to join my study later with your input. It's multi-guest. Okay, Jill, if you'll find that for me and write that down, I'll go into it. When are you going on? Because I'll go on and start blah, 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 blah. But I just wanted to read that. My next couple of lessons, and I'm not waiting until Saturday. And as a matter of fact, Saturday is my Sabbath, and I really do love resting in the Lord. I read all these cool things while I'm resting in the Lord, and I'll be more than glad to come on to your multi-guest warriors. Warriors, come out and play. Live. My lie is at 8 Central. When is that? Isn't that like right now? Is it right now? Or are you talking about 8 p.m.? 4 p.m. That's right. I'll do that. Y'all tell me. Y'all got to get me coordinated, and remember, you're talking to somebody from Georgia too. But you know what? At least I understand the daggone Bible, man. Tonight, yeah, okay. Those people, man, back in the day, they did not read. Dude, if any of them read Isaiah 1 through 5, chapters 1 through 7, I'm sorry, they would have went, hey, y'all know that like covering up the whole water course and all that stuff that Hezekiah did, y'all blocked up the Gihon Springs. Y'all know that's what we were healing up the lame and the blind and all with, and those waters were healing them. Doing away with all that? Yeah. So we're not healing the lame and the blind here on Zion anymore? No. They were slayed by David, which were hated of his soul. Oh, you mean so everybody that was lame and blind and crippled came to Zion to gain the healing waters of the Gihon Springs and to meet Melchizedek and to get bread and to gain healing and all? Yeah. And David made a castle and a palace up there? Yeah, and he slayed the lame and the blind that were hated of his soul. Shut up and read that in the Bible. Just put a stop to that. Built a wall around it. And the first thing he did was built a wall around it. What do you know about 70 AD? I know that the Lord came back and destroyed them. And everybody's going, but the Lord, he has to come back for 1,000 years. The Lord does not reign with them 1,000 years. Read it. The Lord does not reign with 1,000 years. It's not limited to that, bro. Read those words right there. And they, right there, and they lived with him 1,000 years. Shut up, Francis. You're going, the millennial reigns 1,000 years. Do you think Jesus left? He's only going to come for 1,000 years. And they lived and reigned with him for 1,000 years. Go read that. What do you think about the Geneva Bible? I love the Geneva Bible. It forsooth the I can't even talk like that. And so it's really old. It's like 13. And he's got me beat. Mine's 1582, and the Geneva Bible is, it's older than that. And like this one. It's even bigger. This is a Wycliffe Bible I made. It's just, dude, this thing, you hurt somebody with this. And I just read to you. One, they say crap twice all the time. And it's got words like forsooth, and it's almost talks like a pilgrim talks. Therefore all Israel was numbered, and the sum of them was written in the book of the Kings and of Judah, and they were translated into Babylon for their sin. First Chronicles. You know what? First Chronicles is the book of the unknown. Look it up. The original word was Paralyminium or something like that. Paralyminium. And then that was the hidden books, and then they put it in the Bible. The books of the unknown. Uh-oh. Warrior, what you got to add to this? If you got anything, where are y'all? What direction are you going down? Oh, I don't mind talking to people on here. You can come on here and talk. I wanted to read Isaiah chapter 1. I could keep reading Isaiah. I just don't have the study guide for it, and it barely let me put that up there. But Isaiah chapter 1 through 7, dude, man, those dudes, if they would have even had read that, if any of the priests and the Pharisees and Sadducees, if any of those dudes, any of them had read that, they would have had a whole different understanding. And they ain't reading it now. It tells you y'all are bunch of knuckleheads, and that y'all have sinned and that y'all are doing bad. Does anyone know his viewpoint on the rapture? I do. I know his viewpoint on the rapture. Let me ask you, Paige, are you pre-trib or post-trib? And I'll wait for Paige. I'll wait for Paige to answer back. Are you pre-trib or post-trib, Paige? I'll say it like yours. Or does anybody know Pages? Pre-trib. You are pre-tribulation. Do you read the Bible a lot? Now, I don't mean that smart alecally. I mean, do you read the Bible a lot? Or do you listen to people? Paige, me and you are going to have a little study guide together today. Do you read the Bible word for word, or do you listen to people? Yes, and both. I love that. All right. Let's open your Bible then to Matthew 24, verse 29. You tell me when you get there. I'm not going to outrun you at all because I don't have this to put up. Me and Paige are going to read something together, and then we're going to learn this together because I'm not going to tell you my opinion. I'm going to let you read it, and then you tell me what you think it means. So, Paige, we're going to watch. My moderators are going to pin your comments. You tell me when you're at Matthew 24, 29. We're going to answer this question together. There. All right, there. Now, you read I'm going to read it, and then I want you to answer. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all of the tribes of earth mourn. All of the tribes. So when it says clearly, immediately after the tribulation of those days, now answer me, are you pre-trib or post-trib? I'm sorry, and those words are in red. This is Jesus' words. So now tell me, is Jesus pre-trib or post-trib? Not Paige. Is Jesus in the red writing, Paige? Which Bible are you reading from? I'm reading from a King James Version Bible, but I can read it from anything. King James Version Bible, and it is a red letter Bible. And right there, Matthew 29 in red letters, immediately after the tribulation. So that's a King James Version Bible. But I have a 1839 King James Version Bible. And we'll read it in that too. Because I ain't mess with this one at all. Y'all pin a comment now. Matthew 24. Yeah, it's at the top of the page there. Immediately after the tribulation of those days. This just doesn't put it in red ink, so you can't tell. Could you give us some more scriptures that back that up? I will, but I'm having a conversation with Paige in just a minute. And I've got some more scriptures that do back that up. But Paige, I want you to tell me, after reading that in red letters from Jesus, what do you think that Jesus was? Is Jesus pre-trib or post-trib? All right. And Paige, keep playing because, like I said, there's a lot of people that think exactly the way that you're thinking. There's a reason that I'm using. I'm not making an example. I just want you to learn with me, and I want you to learn to read this word for word. I don't think it'd be post-trib then. Wouldn't it be just the second coming? Well, Jesus said immediately after the tribulation, all the tribes of earth shall mourn. So maybe I just don't understand what pre and post means. Does that mean that Jesus would be considered post-trib or pre-trib? And everybody else answer, because maybe I don't understand. And where exactly is this? It's written. This is written by God. So what's it saying? This after the tribulation is after. So to understand that would help us have a better conversation because a lot of people are like, hey, man, that's pre-trib, and they're not going to make me go through all this crap. And all the good people are not going to have to go through that crap. Yeah, literally, Jesus said all the tribes of earth will mourn. I think what a lot of people, if you read the book of Gad, which is in the codex that I make, or you can just look up a copy of the book of Gad and look at the back of it. It talks about the books that are opened and the Great Tribulation and all that stuff. And I believe the people that read are in the first book. There's 3 books that are open. It says that in Revelation 20, verse 5. And the books were open, and another book was open. No, it's not verse 5. It's about 12 or so. There's 3 books that are open. The first book, those are the just deeds of the people that were committed by the people, and they're all vacuumed immediately up into heaven. So those are the cool tribulation group that you're probably thinking about. Then the second deeds are the people that had the unintentional sins. And that whole crowd is parked over on the side for 10 days, which you hear the 10 days of atonement and all that stuff. So they go watch the first group get vacuumed up. This is all reading out of the book of Gad. Then they get parked over onto the curb. And then the ones that are committed to terrible sins and all that stuff, they get hauled off, given to Satan, and marched into the lake of fire and destroyed right there. So these dudes that are on withdrawal for like 10 days, they get to watch. They're watching the pre-trib, not pre-trib group, but the first book. They went up, they watched the third book get diced up, and then they get, hey, dude, what do you want to do? And they're like, holy. And they start yelling, holy, 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 like, you know, they know what they're doing. And like, I don't know. St. Peter's over there just going, I will separate the tares from the goats and the lambs and just get you over here and put you over here. What's unclear about who endures until the end will be saved. What's unclear is about who endures until the end will be saved. Perfect. Okay, in the book of Gad, there's 3 books that are open. The first book gets bang, get walked right up into heaven because they had they were just the just deeds of the people. The second book, the ones that endure to the end, they are the ones with the unintentional sins. They get parked over onto literally it says set them over there for a third of a month, which is 10 days, the 10 days of atonement, and they get set over there for 10 days. And those that endure to the end, those are probably the Pimp Billies. And definitely not in that first group, but you're in the second group over there, so you get to watch. So you watch Grandma get vacuumed up into heaven, and you're like going, dang, man, I missed that boat. And then you see them open the third book, and they trash those dudes, man. They're like going, you're done, bro. You're in the lake of fire. No, you murdered a squirrel, whatever you did. Boom. And you go into the lake of fire. So Billy's over here. He's on the 10-day group, and he's watching. So that if he endures to the end and makes it up to all that stuff, yeah, you probably get your shot. And do you think that there is a rapture, the second coming? I'm unaware. They're 2 different. I don't think that there is a second coming other than when Jesus Christ comes in the skies that it says in Matthew 27. And I don't think that he ever left. You know, they will live and reign with him for 1,000 years. So it isn't like he went and said, I'll come back and y'all can live with me. I'll live with y'all for 1,000 years and that's it. And I'm going to be here for the millennial reign. The millennial reign, they lived and reigned with him for 1,000 years. That's the only time that it ever says anything about a millennial reigning with somebody. And they reigned with him 1,000 years. So those are all the people that got up out of the graves. And in Matthew 27, verse 52, and the earth did quake, and the rocks did rend, and the graves were opened. And the bodies of many saints which slept arose and went into the holy city, and were seen by many. That happened. Can you speak on something you said the other day? Once they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, I get to touch that little button. Dadgummit. Once I'll pin it back up. I can't touch the little triangle that if it's more than 2 lines. Once they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, he overlooked 7 churches when he blew out after not repenting. The book of Revelation was written to the 7 churches, just know that. Can you speak on something you said the other day? Once they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, that ended the church. The church had put out their Apocrypha, the 1582 Apocrypha, and none of the books that they put in their Apocrypha were in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So they left out Enoch and Jubilees. Not they left out that they never even mentioned them. Those were like going, and when they found them in the Dead Sea Scrolls, that was 1942. Just know in like 1918, they sent some Knight Templar dude down to Ethiopia to get a copy of those books, Enoch 1 and the Book of Jubilees. And he brings them back. In 1933, they transcribed them and translated them. Okay, so they set Enoch 1 over here, and then they added Enoch 2, 3, 4, and 5, and literally just ruined that whole thing. Then they added some words to the Book of Jubilees that they couldn't read. And it was that part, just literally, ironically, they couldn't read that part where the angel said, do not build this place. Right after Jacob anointed the stones, the only part that they changed. And his name was E. Charles that translated this. Okay. Then in 1942, just like 7 or 8 years later, they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you can find everything that they changed. Where it says, do not build this place, it says it in the Dead Sea Scrolls translation. And it says, dude, it busted them out, man, where they changed all of that crap about Jacob and the angel. It's just, that busted them out, man. And the church was the one that was changing all that crap. And that's who the book of Revelation was written to. It wasn't written to me and you. It was written to the 7 churches. And to the stars, which are the stars of the 7 churches. What about we'll be caught up in the dead and Christ will rise first? The dead in Christ. I know that's we'll be caught up, and that's where you get the whole word, we will be caught up. Whenever they open those books, you'll literally be caught up, and you will be drawn up and judged. So just know that's going to happen. And it's just when that's going to happen. Jesus Christ says immediately after the tribulation of those days, you'll see the Son of Man coming in the sky, and all the tribes of earth shall mourn. So just know you're going to see the tribulation if you're of all the tribes of earth. It doesn't say, and all the tribes of earth, except for those really, really double cool people that are super double special, that did everything right, they are already with me. Does not say that. Know that. It says immediately after the tribulation of those days, all the tribes of earth shall mourn. If you're living on this planet, bro, you're part of those people. And then they're going to open the books, and you'll be judged, and you'll be caught up, and you'll be either in the good group or the crap group or the you're going to die group. And then when you watch the good group get their good tidings and the crap group get thrown into a lake of fire, you get to make some further decisions. You know what? It's hard for me to say those, Cook, those names, because you'll start seeing my live glitch and flash, and it'll start shutting down because they literally own this program, and they are the ones that kicked me to the curb and didn't even give me a chance, didn't even listen to they stole all my work. They did that. Those people that you just mentioned right there that were in that pinned comment. And just me printing Bibles and me doing all this work and printing these Bibles and all that stuff, those dudes are not, they don't read this crap. You go read, hey, shut up, right here. I'm not going to be anti-anything. I'm going to read you the first page out of one of the most respected prophets on the planet, the prophecy of Isaiah. I don't care what religion you are, if you don't believe this boy right here, you need to pack your little crap up and throw it in the dumpster. Hear ye, O heavens, and give earth, O, for the Lord hath spoken. I have brought up children and exalted them, but they have despised me. This is concerning Judah, and Pimp Billy Buster Brown lives right there. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass, which is that people, the ass master's crib, knoweth his master's crib. But these people right here, they don't know me. These people do not know me. And my people has not understood. They are a sinful nation, a wicked seed. They have forsaken the Lord. They are gone away backwards. They are gone away backwards. They are gone away backwards. Now, I saw some little Islamic dude. He getting on here going, you do whatever you want to. That's the Isaiah. That's the prophet Isaiah. All right? And y'all are all Shemitic. All of y'all are from the sons of Shem and underneath Eber. And all of those knuckleheads right there in that place right there, they do not know the Lord, and my people they don't understand. They are a sinful nation, a wicked seed, and they have forsaken the Lord, and they are gone away backwards. And if that hurts your feelings, you can go pack sand in the desert and just tamp it down. You add a little water to it, keep tamping it down, and let it dry out, keep tamping it down, and then just go pack sand in the desert. Pimp Billy. So, you know what else I got for you? And that's just in case there's some people that are going, oh, there's too much truth in the room. There's too much truth in the room. The book of Joshua. Joshua and the word Jesus are the same word. Shut up, shut up. The word Joshua and the word Jesus are the same word. Y'all know this. I refiled it. I didn't. Yeah, they blocked me. Go to my bio page, go to the link tree, type of handmade Bible. I love you. Joshua and Jesus are the same word. So just go to the bank, get a loan on that one. In the book of Joshua, right here in the Bible, it's the sixth book in the Bible, right after Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua. Joshua. By the way, that book is Jesus. To say Joshua is to say Jesus. Okay? Joshua, Jesus, he's the only dude that ever stopped the sun, and it's written in the Bible. You mean a dude named Jesus stopped the sun as he was leading Israel out of captivity? No, his name was Joshua. Jesus, Joshua? Yeah. You get to conveniently pick when you're going to say Jesus and Joshua, just so that it won't really say that name, because that name is just like kicking your butt, ain't it? Yeah, that name is kicking our butt. Okay, so when you said that Joshua and the devil were standing in front of the Lord in the King James Version Bible, you think that some dude named Joshua, the son of whatever his name was literally standing next to the devil in front of the face of God when it says that no man has seen my face? Okay, that was a dude. It says it in the Dewey and Raines Bible, the one that I print. The reason that I printed is because it says, and Jesus and Satan were standing in front of God. That's got to hurt. Boy, that's in the Old Testament, man. That's got to hurt. Whenever y'all don't want to say that, nailed it over his name. And what's in the name? That name nailed over the top of that cross. John 19:19, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And it was written in 3 different languages. So pack saying with that one too. Dude, how do you know they mean, you need to look it up. I always, literally, I look up your name. As soon as I meet you, I'm going to look up your name, know what it means and all this stuff. Greg means messenger or something like that. Guardian. Arlo, my little dog, it means high tower. And he sits on my shoulder. So he's like almost 6'3". He's a pimp. How many Yorkshire Terriers you know that have an owner that they get to ride around? Do you read from Thessalonians? I have. I'm sure I have. Can you read Thessalonians 4:13? Thessalonians, keep it pinned up there for me, please. Is it 1 Thessalonians? First or 2 Thessalonians? Well, I'm like reading the wrong thing. Thessalonians 4:13. First or 2 Thessalonians? 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Pin that for me. First Thessalonians 4. Comfort about Christians who have died, but I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you, by the word of the Lord, that which we are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them from which are asleep. Let's read that again so it can be very clear. For this we say unto you, by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. Okay? For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and the trump of God, and the dead in Christ will rise forth. That is exactly, will rise first. That's exactly what we just said. That you will see the Son of Man coming in the sky. And then and all the tribes of earth will mourn. And you know that. And then they're going to call you up and read the book. And the first ones that are caught up are the ones that had the just deed. So there's the first group. There's the group that you're looking for. But it's after the Lord appears. And it's after that he appears, after the tribulations that you make it through. So very clear, and thank you for pointing that out. It's when you're caught up, if you're in that just group, you're caught up. Now, I can tell you there's another group that went out before this. And this is New Testament. This was written in 90 A.D., in Matthew 27:52, when those dudes got out of the grave and went into the city and were seen by many. In Matthew 27:52, the earth did quake and the rock did rent, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and got out of the grave and went into the holy city of Jerusalem and were seen by many. The fifth seal describes the exact same event, those that were beheaded for the witness of Christ. That's Revelations 20. That's also very clear in the fifth seal that says that those that are beheaded for the witness of Christ, that's John the Baptist, was one of them. Wondering if Goliath is in there. Any takeaways on that? Why I would say I wonder if Goliath is in there with the saints. You say Goliath was no saint. Say that. What about Revelation 3:10? Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. That's exactly right. You're not separated. You're separated out, but you're going to see all of that stuff. You're going to be caught up. The very first thing that's going to happen is if you're in the just deeds of the people, if you're one of those people that literally didn't sin and honored the Sabbath and did all that stuff, and you're one of the saints, you're in the very first book of Gad, I'll read it right here. You're in the first book, dude. Last chapter. That's not it. Last chapter in the book of Gad is called The Books. This is in the book of Gad. Now, I don't have it where I can put it up on the screen. I'm going to read it to you. It's the 3 books. Why would Goliath be a part of that group of the saints? Thank you for asking that. I will read that Gad thing. Okay. So why would Goliath be part of that group? Goliath called out Jerusalem and King Saul. And you got to understand where Goliath was living at the time, man. He was in and out of Jerusalem. The Philistines had overtaken that. It's getting hot. The Philistines had overtaken that. And he was aware that he went out into the battlefield and he called out King Saul and all of Israel and said, y'all ain't got nothing to do with, bro, I've been reading about in the cave right up there on top of Mount Zion, because if y'all were anointed and a king by that guy right there, you would run right over here and stomp my giant butt right now. So I got a funny feeling that for 40 days, he actually called out Israel for being weak in the faith. Now, are you a craphead for doing that? He died. He was defeated by King David, which was the other anointed king that came in under Saul, never told him really what he was doing there, that he was also anointed king, and that they were both called Messiah in that day in the Hebrew word for all that. But Goliath, this giant, sat there and called out Israel for 40 days, man. So you can just go to the bank and get a loan on that one, bro. Are they bringing Nimrod back to life for the party? You know, I saw a Tesla phone the other day on, I said, get me one of them Tesla phones. I told AJ, I said, go to the store. I want to see tell me about these Tesla phones. He goes, they're not existent. They're not real. So what I saw one the other day, it looked cool. He goes, yeah, all that's AI generated crap. So they are probably going to be AI in me pretty soon. And, just having it where I'm talking all kinds of crap, and they'll probably make Charlie Kirk talk some crap and AI generated. You can see Caroline Lovett or whatever, and they're doing all these dances and stuff, and it was like, man, that's not them. I don't know. I don't know if that's Nimrod. If it is, bring it. You know, like I said, that ought to stick out like a thumb. And if you follow that, man, and if that's what you go through, 1 Corinthians 15:51, where is the church in Revelation 6:19? Whoa! Hold on. Pick it up page. Keep it pinned. 1 Corinthians 15:51. 1 Corinthians 15:51. Keep it pinned up there. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. At the last trump, the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay. At the last trump. And that's not Donald Trump, but it is the last time he'll be in president. So at the end, we do not all sleep. You will be granted eternal life. It says those that come back will be granted life. And as those servants that are working in him and giving meat in due season, they're granted life. I pray that every day, man. I pray that whenever he returns, that I'm not raised up. I'm given eternal life so that I can live with him. That's exactly what it says. And you're going to want to be caught up into him because they're going to destroy the earth, for the first heavens and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea, and there was a new heaven and a new earth. So you better be caught up into something, swaddled in his arms, reading about you in this book of life, and then whenever he makes the new heaven and the new earth, he's going to set you down on it. So there's a lot of caught up and picking up in there. Pin that comment back and I'll read you a second thing. But it does say that all of the tribes of earth shall mourn. And you're reading in the New Testament, and literally when I just read to you out of Jesus's words, where is the church in Revelation 6:19? That'll be good. I got that underlined. Where is the church in Revelations 6 through 19? Oh, you mean chapter 6 through 19. Where's the church? Wearing a fair mitre, leading the people astray, creating the Bibles and the times and changing the times and seasons and the maps. All of that, man. The churches are right there, bro. They're the ones that weren't telling you any of this crap. They're just as bad as the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, man. Those dudes that should have known this word, should have known all about the visions of David, what David saw, the prophecy of David, the 22nd Psalm, the prophecy of David. It doesn't write it down like that, but it showed the crucifixion. They pierced my hands, they pierced my feet, they cast lots for my cloak. When they had him pinned up, the very first words of David's 22nd Psalm, right here, the very first words of David's 22nd Psalm are, my God, why have thou forsaken me? They're not mentioned. No, the church is not mentioned in there. And the book of Revelation was written to the churches. Let's know that. It wasn't written to Greg and Gigi and to you, Paige. It was written to the churches to tell them not to lead us astray. And then you start reading about the trumpets and the bowls and the broken seals. Man, you can go to my Patreon page and I break those all down for you. Every one of the seals are 1,000 years. I start off at the beginning with Adam and go right through. You can see all the fifth seal. I mean, that's when the altar, they come out, the souls come out from the altar and they're given white robes and they reign with him 1,000 years. That's Matthew 27:52. That's the fifth seal. 1,000 years later, when the rest of the dead yet live again, that's the sixth seal. You just literally can go right down them. And whenever they had break that seal, the trumpet is what announces that crap, per se, and then the bowl of wrath is that crap. So you can just read that any way you want to. Wasn't there a heaven and an earth and a sea and the temple itself? There was that brazen sea, and they had something at the top of the poles, Jasam and Boaz and what have you. They always have globes on them. But Revelation 21 says that there's a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heavens and the first earth were passed away, and there's no more sea. That's Revelation 21. There's a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heavens and the first earth are passed away, and there's no more sea. But Isaiah 65 says the same thing. I show you. I know. I know. Right here. Isaiah, it's 65. It's the one that was right before that. There. He creates a new heaven and a new earth right there. That's Isaiah 65, man. That's what we're just reading out of. Isaiah is quoting, is literally telling you, hey, this is what's going to happen. Have you heard of Satan's little season? Many believe that we are in it. I have heard of Satan's little season because if you read Revelations 20, verse 3, it tells you that he will be released for a little season. So I found something very interesting as I was printing one of my Bibles the other day. Brianna, that's a great question. And a lot of people, including myself, do not have an exact time frame of how long a little season is. And we can all go, well, a day is 1,000 years and this could be, whatever. But the Bible tells you how long a long season is. And, man, it's going to be so far back. It says, is it Zechariah 24:7? Shut up. If that's it, I'm just going to die. I'm going to look it up. If it's Zechariah 24:7, I'm just going to remember that forever. Jeremiah. I don't know. Somebody looked that up for me. Somebody that was in my page. It says, you were in the desert a long season. So I put you in the wilderness a long season. And I think it's something 24/7. Zechariah 24/7 or something 24/7. And it says, I put you in the desert, in the wilderness for a long season. And that's 40 years. So I know a long season is 40 years. And so a little season, I would have to say, would be smaller than that, less than 40 years. And I do know that it calls out the seasons, some of the seasons, like Jesus, 3.5 years, 40 and 2 months, 1,260 days. Those are all 3.5 year periods. And Jesus was on the planet 3.5 years after they executed John the Baptist, and his ministry after John the Baptist was exactly 3.5 years. And then I can't see the Satan really getting much more showtime than Jesus. What I think a lot of people see, though, is where's the devil listed on the Adam's map of time? I can show you right where he got out of. It's the only time the word devil is written on there. Leave that comment pinned up. I forgot what it was. Okay. Jesus Christ was crucified in 33 AD. And 1,000 years later, the rest of the dead yet live again. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. It's the rest of the dead, man. 1,000 years later, the rest of the dead yet live again. That's the knuckleheads that you're seeing that are in the presidents and in the people that run the church and people that run the banks and people that run the countries and all that stuff. That's the rest of the dead yet live again after the 1,000 years are finished. This is the first resurrection. Shut up, man. That's Revelation 20, verse 5. This is the first resurrection. So 33 AD, after 1,000 years, 1,000 years after the crucifixion. We'll see, it says 1, 2, 3, keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right here. They put 10 right there for a reason. This is 1,033 when the rest of the dead yet live again, and pull your finger right down to there. And it's the only time the word the devil, Robert the devil, picks up in 1,033. Shut up. Shut up, Alice. That's where the devil is on the map. Exactly where it should be. And he got out for that little season for 3.5 years and coordinated the rest of the dead that also got out of the grave and said, dude, when I get out in another 1,000 years, y'all better have the Euphrates River where I can dry it up on call so that we can release them. Can you? Okay, Vanna. I'll be glad to. This is... So, by the way, they can shut the Euphrates River off right now, dude. They have 4 dams in place where they can shut the Euphrates River completely dry. Know that. They're already in place. He's already coordinated them for that. And then he went back in. This is the Bible that I make. And it's literally, you can just see it next to my head. It's 5 inches. And it weighs like 11 pounds. By the time we put the box and stuff in it, ship it, it's like 12 pounds. We have to pay for 12 pounds. And right inside of it, you can see where it's a 1582. No, it's all gilded. It's all written on parchment paper or printed on parchment, 24-pound parchment paper. And then in the back of it, all the maps are all in it. And in the codex, the maps are all in the back of the codex as well. It's printed on 20-pound paper, still gilded. But this has the books of Jubilees, Jasher, Enoch 1, Gad, and the Gospel of Nicodemus. And then we make it where you can clamp it shut and take it with you. And this is actually, this is something you carry around with you. This is a cool book. And if you're looking for something really tight, I'd hand make this. This is a piece of leather that I formed. These scars, these skins, they're different. Every skin's going to be different. Every one of them. You can see when I print these, they're all different vegetable tan leather. All of them have individual marks. All of them have little nicks where I've marked so that I can make those folds. This is all handmade, man. This is all hand tied and cut and glued and stitched. No, it's just not going to come apart. And I've asked the internet. It says AI says that this thing will stay together for a couple of 100 years because we use those methods. But it's just the way it's bound, glued. Then there's fabric and mesh and all that goes on top of that. But it's all just hand cut and then tied by hand. So I'm not. You know what? I have to put those marks on them. And you say, hey, why wouldn't you put like ink or something? Because when you soak the leather in the water, the ink will blur and it'll make like a blue ring around it. So you have to soak, because when you soak the leather in the water, the ink will blur and it'll make like a blue ring around it. So you have to soak each one of them and then you fold them in the press and they make the thing. I'll load this up for y'all. We're on the Sabbath. We're right over here on Saturday, and it started Friday night. So when the sun went down Friday night, that's when the Sabbath Saturday started right there, and we're right here. And it says, and the evening and the morning were the first day. That's the very first thing that it says in the Bible in the first chapter. The evening and the morning were the first day. So just know that at the end of the day, any given day, at the end of the day when the sun goes down, that's the end of the day. And then it begins the next day. And is your Sabbath not from evening to evening? So just know that our Sabbath went from Friday evening at about 6 p.m. to Saturday evening. So tonight at about 6 p.m., Sabbath is over. And it's Saturday for sure. That's what the name means. The church changed it. The church changed it in 361. They changed it. Go get you some bread. On the Sabbath, I always do. Get you some wine. I always do. Don't drink it in a wine glass online. I always don't. And dude, it ain't a big thing. But you'll find out that that's a super cool piece of bread. You'll find out that it's rest in him. Y'all go read chapters 1 through 7, literally, of the book of Isaiah. And just turn around and the next time you see anybody of any religion, just know that they were giving fair warning. They were told exactly, all those people over there, and I'll show you real quick before I get off. I'm going to hurt some feelings right here. All them people right there and right there, that dude wrote this, Isaiah, like Pimp Billy. He wrote this in 700 and something BC, man, before Christ. And he said, y'all are knuckleheads. Y'all have gone away backwards. Y'all are wicked. See, y'all have forsaken the Lord. You've not understood. You've not even known me. He has exalted them and they have despised me. There it is, boy, right there. You see the live visibility just got restricted, and that's because I'm reading the prophecy of Isaiah. Y'all just saw it happen. Just know they'll probably shut me off for that again. I love you. I'm going to keep reading the Bible to you. Just know that my visibility just got restricted, and they just struck my live down because I read to you the words of the Bible right there, and I was just pointing at them. That's the prophecy of Isaiah, 721 BC. So you just know that's it. I love you, and in Jesus' name, y'all have a blessed day.